Hello everybody, today I'll be reviewing the Wltoys or WLTech as they're known now V911S 4-channel RC helicopter, and it uses their 6G axis gyro system. And let's check out the box. As you can see, the box has a few little dents in it from shipping. Okay, let's see what the helicopter includes. Okay, it includes this little charger, and you can charge 2 batteries on it at one time. And when you charge both batteries, while the batteries are charging, the 2 LEDs are lit up. And when the batteries are finished charging, the LED will go out for each particular battery that's finished charging. And also, it includes this little charging cable. This little jack right here plugs into the charger, just like that. Let's try that again. Okay, there we go. And also you have your standard USB on the other side, which you can plug into your phone charger, or you can get one of these little wall adapters and plug your USB into one of these. Or you can also plug it into your computer. And it also includes your instruction manual. It's a pretty decent manual that tells you everything you need to know about the helicopter. Even includes a spare parts list and an exploded view of the helicopter. And also includes a few spare parts. Includes 2 spare rotor blades. And includes a spare tail rotor blade. And also includes a spare main gear. And also includes a screwdriver for tightening up or loosening up or taking apart your helicopter if you need to replace any parts on it. And also includes a little hex key if you need to tighten up your blade grips. And here's the transmitter. It includes a standard WLToys 4-channel transmitter. The transmitter is also backlit with a pretty nice little LCD display. Gives you some information on the helicopter, even tells you where your trims are. Has digital trims. This left button up here, that's your rate button, and you have dual rates. And your first rate limits the amount of travel that your servos have, and it limits the amount of rotation that your helicopter the helicopter has. For very soft flying, it's sort of good for a beginner, but it's not really good for flying out in windy or breezy conditions. And rate 2 will give you full travel on your servos, and it'll also speed up your rotation of your tail. And it's really good for flying in wind and breezy conditions. And this button right here is called the hover debugging button. I've pressed the button and it really doesn't do anything, not that I've noticed. I'm assuming that if you have the helicopter on the ground and you can press this button, and I guess it recalibrates the gyros and accelerometers, or resets them if the helicopter is acting up. And these right here are your digital trims for trimming your helicopter. And there's your battery compartment. Takes 6 AA batteries. Oops. And this right here, this is really nothing right here. On the older WLToys quadcopters and some of the real early helicopters, there would have been a little charging cable in here to charge the battery directly from the transmitter, but they don't do that anymore. And that's pretty much about it for the transmitter. And now we get to the helicopter. It's a pretty nice little helicopter. It uses WLToys 4G 6-axis system, which means usually means it has 3 gyros and 3 accelerometers. So it has a gyro and accelerometer on each axis. So it'll have a gyro and accelerometer on your forward and reverse, your left and your right sliding, and the rotation of your helicopter. This being flybarless, it needs that in order for the helicopter to fly stable. And the helicopter has 2 tiny little cordless motors. It uses a little 250 milliamp hour lithium battery, 3.7 volts, and it's rated at 25C discharge. So it's a pretty good battery for this little helicopter. And it just slides right here. And let me take the canopy off the helicopter so you can get a look at the flight control board. Just slides off like that. And here's the flight controller. Pretty simple yet highly sophisticated. And here's your tiny little servos, which are pretty impressive how small they are. And here's your rotor head. Being this only a 4-channel helicopter, it's a pretty simple rotor head. Here's your tail rotor, and that also uses a little cordless motor. Looks like they got some heat shrink wrapped around it to keep the wires nice and tucked away. Tail boom is seems to be made out of a carbon fiber rod. The plastic seems to be a nice soft nylon plastic. And now let me go take a flight outdoors, and I'll be back to give my final review. As you can see in the outdoor flying footage of this helicopter, it flies pretty good. It was a little breezy out, so it was kind of being pushed around a little bit. And I was flying in the second rate on the transmitter for a little bit more authoritative flying. And it was really fun, the helicopter. It's actually got a lot of power considering the tiny little coreless motor that it has. The tail wags a little bit. The gain is set kind of high on the tail gyro, but there's no way of adjusting it to turn it down. But overall, I think it's a really good helicopter. It's really good for a beginner. And like I said, I would fly it out in the wide open space. I wouldn't fly it in a confined space. At least if you're a beginner. If you're a pro, I mean, this helicopter will be a cakewalk for you. But if you're a beginner or intermediate, I would consider flying in a wide open space. But I have to say though, but if you're a beginner and you want something a lot easier to fly than this, the V911 Pro or the V911 version 1 are the way to go, and then maybe move up to the V911S once you get familiar with the controls of a helicopter. And overall, I give this V911S a thumbs up, and I would definitely buy one again if this one ever breaks or burns up. And like I said, you can also buy spare parts for these helicopters, so if you do break something, you can always order parts. Unfortunately, most of the parts are only available from overseas, but like I said, this is a pretty durable helicopter because I've crashed it a few times already testing it out. So I give it a big thumbs up, and please like and subscribe, and I'll be posting more RC related videos in the future. Thank you for watching. Bye.